want you to get for me Hebrews 13. Hebrews 13. And start with about verse, not to read it all, start with about verse 8. 13:8. Hebrews 13:8. Start there and just read on until I tell you.
Jesus Christ.
All right, the Bible says Jesus Christ
is the same yesterday.
Is the same. See, you don't have to worry about his changing. I was in Chicago. I was thinking in this area in Detroit, but it was in Chicago a long time ago, 1980, I think it was. That somebody challenged us, and they put all of these handbills on the cars of the members of the church and so on. They challenged. They said they had a prophet on their prophet. He said, and their prophet said that he was that Negro, and just everything, and color. I said, you're too much. They ended up in a debate with them because they call themselves the Black Hebrews and so on. They're following a certain prophet and so on. So don't get into all of that foolishness. Don't get into that. Don't let any man lead you into that. Any woman. That women even on the television now trying to preach. God never authorized a woman to preach the gospel like a man. He gave everybody his part in creation. He told the man to take care of the family. He told the woman to bear the children. And I don't care how sweet you are, man, you can't have a baby. You're walking around here talking about honey, sugar, and all of that, but you can't have it. You can even dress like a woman. You know, put on left. You can't have a baby, and I'll tell you right now why. God in creation made the woman's body a certain way and the man's body another way.
That's right.
So why don't you just settle for what God has already done? Read.
He is the same yesterday.
Jesus Christ the same yesterday.
Today. And forever.
And forever. Read.
Do not be carried about.
Now don't be carried about
with various and strange doctrines.
Now listen, he's telling you, and I'm closing, but I want to tell you that he's saying to you, if you really want to be a disciple of Jesus, do not be what? Carried away.
With
some people are carried away with these preachers who claim that they got it directly from God. The man said he saw in the country long ago, walking down the street, GPC. Go, he said, that meant go preach Christ. That was his calling, he said. The other man said to him, that didn't necessarily mean go preach Christ. It could have meant go pick cotton. And some people will believe these things that some of these preachers are saying. Not just on the tents and in buildings, I mean on television. Millions and millions of dollars they're spending just to spread error. And some people fall into that trap. The Bible says what?
Don't be carried about with various and strange doctrines.
Don't be carried about with what?
Various.
Strange
doctrines.
And strange doctrines. We hear some strange doctrines by some of our preachers. I mean in the Church of Christ. You get away from what's written, brother, be set to defend what you say. Because regardless of my age and others who preach the same thing that I preach, we will expose error by going to what is written. He said, don't be carried away with various and strange doctrines. Read.
For it is good.
It is good
that the heart
be
established by grace.
Be established by grace. The Bible says grace and truth came by Jesus Christ. Read.
Not with foods,
Not with food,
which have not profited those
which have not profited
who have
them,
been occupied with them.
who have been occupied with them. Read.
We have an altar from which
Now
those
hold it. That's what I want to show you in closing. We have an altar. Now, you know, some churches call themselves having an altar. Right down in front. People who are sinners need to come to the altar. Come to the altar. We have an altar. We don't deny having an altar in the Church of Christ, but this building is not the Church of Christ. When we leave this building, the church is gone. And some people think, he says, we have an altar, which what?
from which those who serve
From which those who serve
the tabernacle
the tabernacle, the people who are holding on to the Old Testament.